Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. In this video, we're going to learn about customers and obviously the customer's card. So we go to the customer and you can create a new customer, and obviously you can select one of these, whether you want a customer company or customer EU customer or a customer person. So you got different descriptions as well: business to business, B2B, customer bank, and EU customer bank or cash payment. So we're going to select this one. So these are all the fields which we need to know about. So we're going to explain to you about all the fields, what are these fields for, and just the basic definition, so we can understand the basics of how to select the customer. For that purpose, I'll just take a customer which is already got the details, so we can basically understand better how it works. So we're going to go through all the fields. So first thing is first, the journal slide. That's the customer number. Whichever customer number you want to put, you can select it from there as well. You can see what they want, what do you have there, and you can select the customer number. You can change the customer number to 2000, 3000, 4000. So it's just a number series you need to select, which you're selecting for the customer. Second one is the customer's name, which is very important. So you need to put the name of the customer, which is actual name of the customer you want to see in Business Central. Then we got IC partner code. IC partner code is gonna, it shows as intercompany information. It's not set up for the company, so I don't want to set it yet. So if you have more than one company, so you can specify the intercompany partner code as well. The next option is balance LCY. So balance LCY specifies the amount, the payment amount that the customer owes for completed sales. I mean, this value is known as the customer's balance. So any customer balance or anything which is remaining or which they owe us, it's going to be in LCY. Balance LCY as vendor. So that specifies the amount that you owe this vendor. This is relevant when your vendor is also your customer. This amount, obviously, the amount is the result of netting their payable and receivable balances. So if you have a customer where you're buying goods from as well, so according to the books, you need to do the accounts receivable and account payable in regards to the transactions, and then obviously the balance will appear here after adding addition or subtraction of everything. Balance due LCY is, it specifies payments from the customer that are overdue by today's date. So that will be today's date and up to date. And then the next one, we come here in journal tab, which is credit limit LCY. That will specify the maximum amount you allow the customer to exceed the payment balance before bonding any issue, any bondings are issued. So the next option goes to the blocked. The blocked option specifies which transaction with the customer that cannot be processed. For example, because the customer is insolvent. So this option, privacy blocked, you can block the privacy side, which specifies whether to limit access to data for the data subject during daily operations. I mean, this is useful, for example, when protecting data from changes while it is under privacy review. Salesperson code, you can select salesperson code, whoever salesperson is, which specifies the code for a salesperson who normally handles this customer accounts. So you got different, obviously you have to set up these first. Then you got responsibility center. Responsibility center is a kind of thing where you specify the codes or code for the responsibility center that will administer this customer by default. Document sending profile, and that's very important, obviously, how you want to send obviously the files to the customer. You can set up the document sending profile. Obviously you can see the full list. If you go into that, will show you the details as well. So that is to specify the preferred method of sending documents to the customer. so that you do not have to select sending option every time that you post and send a document to the customer. I mean, the sales document to this customer will be sent using the specific sending profile and will override the default document sending profile. Next option shows as total sales a physical year. This means obviously it's your total sales turnover with the customer in the current fiscal year. It is calculated from amount excluding VAT on all completed and open invoices and credit memos. Cost LCY specifies how much cost you have incurred from this customer in current fiscal year. Profit obviously is the profit side. It shows how much profit you have made from this customer in current fiscal year, expressed as a percentage of the customer's total sales. Then the next option shows the last date modified. So it shows when the customer card was last modified, the whole card thing was modified. And you can select obviously from here, and it will automatically show you that as well. Disable search by name, and that specifies that you can change the customer name on open sales documents, and the change applies only to the documents. So you can disable the actual name, and you can specify the name you want to be putting on the documents. Next option is address and contact. Obviously, that's the basic information everybody knows. You can go through all the address documents. So you put your first address and second address, and obviously your region, city, county. For example, in Birmingham, we got West Midlands, and your postcode. And you put customers' details here, obviously the phone number or mobile number, and their contact number, and if they got any web page, and then the person's name who you're gonna contact for this customer, obviously for this company, admin corporation. Invoicing is important. Obviously, you need to know all about this as well. So the VAT registration number was the customer's registration number, which specifies the customer's VAT number for customer in EU countries, region, etc. EORI number, it specifies the economic operators registration and identification number that is used when you exchange information with the custom authorities due to trade into or out of the European Union. Then you can use GLN in electronic documents. So you can use, obviously, whether you want to use GLN is in the electronic documents as party identification number or not. Copy sold to address to port from. That is a kind of thing which specifies which customer address is inserted on sales port that you create for the customers, which needs to do with the addresses. In posting details, obviously, as you know, in previous videos we mentioned about the posting groups, so journals, posting group, you need to select from here whichever posting group you have obviously selected. So you select from there, and then you got obviously the customer posting group. So what kind of customer starts, you select from there. Price and discounts, customer price group. Because price group is a code which you can use to set up special sales prices in sales prices. So if you want to set up any special prices, you can select codes from here, and obviously you go to the select full list and you make a code for this customer. And same as the discount one, if you specify the customer discount group code, which you can use as a criterion to set up special discounts in sales 9 discounts windows. If you go down, then it's a payment option that will be about the payment details of the customer. So prepayment percentage specifies a prepayment percentage that applies to all orders for this customer regardless of the item or services on the order lines. So you can specify the codes percentage here. Application method, you can do manual or apply to all list. Obviously it's same like we mentioned in the vendor side. So obviously it's opposite to vendor. It's the customer side, so it's the sales side. It's not purchase side. So you this payment side is the you mention how to apply payments to entries, but this customer, that's you're gonna do manual, or obviously you apply to all list. Partner type, just like the partner type, whether it's a company or a person. I mean, it specifies for direct debit collections if the customer that the payment collected from is from a person or a company. Obviously, you can mention as company as a business account and person as a personal account. You can say that. Interested partner type, that is for to specify interested of reporting if the customer is a person or a company. Payment term code, very important. Payment term code, it's a kind of thing that indicates the payment terms that you require of the customer. So that's the specific codes. Obviously, you have different codes and descriptions. You can select the full list. It'll show you these are the codes and descriptions, and then that descriptions what description you want. If they're then discounts, then that discount's going to be there. The next option we've got is payment method code. Payment method code, what kind of method obviously you're going to use for this payment, you can select from the list. Obviously you create this payment method code first, you mention all of that and description, and obviously you put the balance account type as well, which account it should be, and then obviously sometimes you have to balance account number as well, you can mention that. So basically, the method is how the customer usually submit payments, such as bank transfer or check or anything like that. So reminder returns code, you can say that it's a kind of code that reminds or specifies how reminder about the late payments are handled for this customer. So obviously you need to specify what kind of customer's code is that, domestic, foreign, or retail. Then you can dig down more and specify about the reminder codes. FIN charge terms code. That code is to specify finance charges are calculated for the customer. Cash flow payment terms code is to specify a payment term that will be used to calculate cash flow for the customers. If you go to the print statement side, it specifies whether to include this customer when you print the statement reports. Last statement number, you can mention the last statement number, the number of the last statement that was printed for this customer. You can block print payment tolerance as well, which is the customer is not allowed a payment tolerance. So you can turn this on and it will block that. Preferred bank account code. It specifies the bank account that will be used by the default by default when you process refunds to the customer and direct debit collections. And the last one here is exclude from payment practices. That will specify that the customer must be excluded from the payment practices calculations. Next option is shipment, very important as well. So the ship to code is a kind of code that's specify the code for another shipment address than the customer own address, which is entered by default. So you click there, it will ask you these addresses. Obviously, if you go to this list, so you can have different list of customers. So you can select different options from here, and obviously send the shipment to the address. Location code is a kind of code which specifies from which location sales to the customer will be processed by default. Obviously, you select these, you make these places first when you set up the company. So you have different warehouses at different places. So you select which warehouse you need to select for the customer, which is local to the customer. Combined shipment is important as well, very important. That specifies if several orders delivered to the customer can appear on the same sales invoices. Let's say if you buy 3 items, whether they should be invoiced differently on individually, or it should be a combined shipment. Reverse, we got different option reverse. which shows never, optional, or always. That specifies whether items will never, automatically, always, or optionally be reserved for this customer. Any advice you want to give on shipment, you can click here, and that will specify if the customer accept partial shipments of orders or not. So you can select partial, or you can select complete when obviously you're making the shipments. And so that's the important side obviously of this customer card. So you need to know whether it's partial or complete. So when you want to do all partial orders, you have to select all partial first for this customer, and then you can make partial orders. Otherwise, the system will give you an error. Shipment method code. Obviously, shipment method code is to specify which shipment method to use when you ship item to your customers. So you can see the different methods: cost and freight, cost, insurance and freight, carriage, insurance paid, etc. So you got a full list for that, and you can pick up from there and put the code there. Here's calendar code. Is a code. It's a customizable calendar for shipment planning that holds the customer's working days and holidays. So you can select this and obviously put the base information for the calendar. Customized calendar. Specify that you have set up a customized version of a base calendar for the customer. The next one is intrastate. So default transaction type specifies that the default transaction type for regular sales shipments and services shipment. So you can select this from here if you have anything. Obviously we haven't got anything because we are using the trial version. Default type transaction type returns. If there are any default transaction type returns, you can do that here. So you need to make obviously the list first, and then it specifies the default transaction type for sales returns and service returns. And default transport method, obviously if you want to use which default transport method you want to use, you have to make the list for that first, which specify the default transport method for the purpose of reporting to intrastate. Then you got statistics, very important. It says first the balance, so money owed current. That means it specifies the payment amount that the customer owes for completed sales. This value is also known as customer's balance. So these are the obviously for statistics and reports. That'll give you the information. And then you've got money owed total. That'll be here. Basically, this whole section is just for reporting the customer. So the money owed total will show you specify the payment amount that the customer owes for completed sales plus sales that are still ongoing. I mean, the value is calculated synchronously, so there might be a delay in updating the field. Credit limit obviously specifies the maximum amount you allow the customer to exceed the payment balance before warnings are issued. And then usage of credit limit is to specify how much of the customer payment balance consists of credit. That is the payment side. Overdue payments. Overdue payments shows the sum of outstanding payments from the customer, and then obviously payment this year as of this date to this date. And that specifies the sum of payments received from the customer in the current fiscal year. Current fiscal year is determined by the system date. Obviously, you have to set up fiscal years first, and according to that, you can select. You can see the balances here. The value shown here is calculated asynchronously as well, so that there might be a delay in updating in this field. Sales this year, posted invoices. That will show you about the posted invoices. Your sales to the customer in the current fiscal year based on posted sales invoices. The figure in parentheses specific obviously specifies the number of posted sales invoices. Yeah, obviously that would be within the parentheses. So posted credit memos. Posted credit memos, it shows obviously specifies your expected refunds to the customer in the current fiscal year based on the posted sales credit memos. The figure in this parenthesis shows the number of posted sales credit memos. Ongoing invoices which the specifies the exceeded sales to the customer in the current fiscal year based on the ongoing sales invoices. The figure in parentheses shows the number of ongoing sales invoices. Um, then we got ongoing credit memos that specify your refunds to the customer in the current fiscal year based on the ongoing sales credit memos. I mean, the figure is in parentheses shows the number of ongoing sales credit memos. Total sales, that specifies your total sales turnover with the customer in the current fiscal year. It is calculated from the amount excluded VAT on all completed and open invoices and credit memos. And the last option we've got is invoice discounts. That will specify the total of all invoices discounts that you have granted to the customer in the current fiscal year. And the last one, you've got aged accounts receivable. Obviously, that's for reporting. So normally you do it for the reporting. So I hope that you understand the basics of reporting. Sorry, the customer's card information. And then if you go to the reporting, you can see different kind of reports there as well. Where it will be account, is your account payable and is your account receivable. You click that, you can see all the reports, and obviously you can see the sales related reports as well if you click them and you put the details there. So that was all about the customer's card and customer fields, which are important to know, which is going to help you in sales, or if your customers, your vendor as well, then it will help you in patches as well. Thanks for watching.